Hi, second graders. You did a great job working last week. Thanks to those of you who sent me your work. I gave you some extra dojo points in your account. And if you want to do that this week, you may as well, and I'll give you some more points. We're going to work on some different skills this week and read a different story. Look at these two words. What do you notice about them? Right, they're pronounced the same, where and where, but they're spelled differently and have different meanings. These words are called homophones. The word on the left, W-E-A-R, means to put something on your body. For example, I wear a heavy coat in the winter. The word on the right, W-H-E-R-E, means a place, like this is where I live. I can use the words in a sentence to show their meanings. Where will you wear that new dress? In that sentence, you can use context clues to help you figure out the meaning of the homophones. Let's try another one. This time we're going to use red. Notice both words say red, but they're spelled differently, and they also have different meanings. Can you think of a sentence using both of those words? Here's my sentence. Have you read that book with the red cover? Did you use the words red and red correctly? I'm going to give you a list of some pairs of homophones. Each day, I want you to choose one pair of words and write a sentence using both of the words, just like we did today. Don't forget to use your capitals and punctuation. Here are your words. New. So one day I want you to write a sentence using N-E-W as well as K-N-E-W. Another day I want you to write a sentence using scent. Think about the two different kinds and what they mean. The next day you're going to use the word there. And then the last day you're going to use the word ate. Make sure you think about the meaning of each word before you write your sentence. If you send me a picture of your sentences in Dojo, I'll give you some extra points. This week we're going to read a new story. It should be familiar to you, but with a little twist. This story is called Goldilocks and the Other Three Bears. What do you notice on the cover? Yes, I see that there is a bear. We'll have to see what that twist may be. This story is about a bear cub named Goldilocks. She comes upon a house in the woods. When no one answers, she goes in. Goldilocks tastes the porridge. She sits in the chairs. And she sleeps in the beds. When the owners come home, they see that someone has been in their house. Do you notice that the owners are humans in this story? Their last name is Bear. So we have Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. Now you're going to read the story. As you read, I want you to think about ways that the story is the same as the story that you know and how it's different than the story you already know. Remember, you can always pause the video if I'm turning the pages too fast. Did you see some ways this story is the same and some ways that it's different? Now we're going to write about that. I want you to make a Venn diagram on paper similar to mine on the screen. Above each circle, you're going to write the title of each story because that's what we're going to compare. So on the first one, I'm going to write Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And on the other one, I'm going to write Goldilocks and the Other Three Bears. I'm going to think of ways that those two stories are the same. When I think of that, I will write all of those in the middle where the circles overlap. I'm also going to think of ways that the stories are different, and I'm going to write those in the outside portions of the circle. Okay? So as we're thinking, we can think of the characters. Are there characters that are the same? Are there different characters? We can think about the setting. Was it the same or was it different? And we can think about the events in the story. Were there things that happened that were the same? And were there things that were different that happened? So we're going to do one for each together, and then I want you to think of another one to put in on the Venn diagram. So in both stories, Goldilocks goes for a walk in the woods. So I'm going to put that in the middle because it's the same in both stories. Goldilocks goes for a walk in the woods. Now I'm going to think about a way that they are different. In the Goldilocks and the Three Bears that I knew before, Goldilocks wasn't a bear, she was a girl. I'm going to put Goldilocks is a girl. In the story we read today, Goldilocks is a bear. So that's one way that the stories are different. I want you to finish this Venn diagram by adding one more way that they're the same in the middle and another way that they're different on the outside. Okay? Send it to me in Dojo and I'll give you an extra point. This week, I also want you to practice comparing and contrasting, telling how things are alike and how they're different. So each day, you're going to take one of these sets of words and you're going to draw a Venn diagram to compare and contrast. For example, tomorrow, you will take the words cats and dogs. You're going to think about how cats and dogs are alike and how cats and dogs are different. See if you can think of at least two ways they're alike and two ways that they're different for your Venn diagram. Then the next day, you're going to compare and contrast policemen and firemen. The next day, hamburgers and hot dogs. And then the last day this week, I want you to compare and contrast football and basketball. You might need to come back to this video to see those words again, and that's okay. You can always do that throughout the week. Great job again today. This week, I want you to practice writing sentences using the homophone pairs that I gave you. And I also want you to practice comparing and contrasting with those words we just went over. Okay, so each day you will be writing a sentence and then you'll be doing a Venn diagram. If you want to take a picture, send it to me in Dojo. I'll give you some extra points each time you're completing those. Have a great week, work hard, and have some fun.